Billy Cottle. Okay, we've gone live.
Go ahead, keep
So
going.
no,
Well, we
no,
can, so we can.
I'd rather keep any discussion to a complete minimum on this because I just don't think it needs to be talked about. The more we talk about a topic,
Okay, Dominic, I
the
understand.
more.
If you're a little timid, I understand.
No, I'm not saying I'm timid about it. I'm just saying I don't want to give it any oxygen. I
Yeah.
don't want people to be watching a video and then thinking it's a good idea to go out and do that. So
Hey,
the
Corey Mono, good morning, good
less
evening.
oxygen, the less oxygen it gets, the better.
Russell's here. Corey,
Okay, I'll get the chat going.
What's up, Corey? What's up, Russell? I was wondering what everybody was talking about the
Max
last couple
there.
days.
Hey,
I'm
Max.
recording that video.
Yeah,
Oh, I got to go get rid of the emojis.
yeah. Post. You got to post the link,
Yeah, I got to get rid of the
link,
emojis first.
and
They're
then get
popping
rid of
up.
the emoji. Hi, Max, Corey, Russell. It has been as I said, I'm not going timid on it, but what I'm saying is I don't really want to discuss it because I don't want to give it oxygen.
Well, you
But
might explain without identifying it that you're
Everybody already
upset with
knows
what's
about
going on YouTube and
yeah, as I said,
it.
and we were discussing about the Ken Heron's latest video. All I'll say is I don't want to give it. I don't want to give it oxygen. I don't want people to watch it
What's up, Hunter?
because if people do watch it, I don't want people getting the idea that it's a good idea.
Oh, if you read enough of the
Bad.
comments, trust me, you don't get that point. You really don't get that view
Well,
from it.
well, that's good then. So if it becomes a topic of discussion, so be it. But I don't want to cause any drama with it.
or give any legs to it, right?
Yeah. I just think it's, yeah, I just think that it needs to be discussed, but it needs to be discussed in a very civil matter.
Oh, Corey, I watched Beekeeper last night. Fucking awesome.
Everybody's been talking about that movie.
Beekeeper,
That
huh?
movie was so good. Yes.
Yeah.
It was really good. What's up, Quinn?
Yeah, correct, Russell.
Oh, that's what I said, Russell. 100%.
And now, rather than it being a
What?
priority like it used to be, where I'd scrub out a couple of hours to watch it, just if something comes up at that time, because it's Friday morning for me, something comes up on a Friday morning, yeah, I'll have it on my phone and watch into the background, but I'm not going to,
Go out of your way.
yeah, I'm not going to go out of my way.
My question is because with the whole flying over people, because I know they switched that whole crap now where you could do it with. I wish Dre was here because
Yeah,
Dre would really know that.
I
'Cause he
heard
keeps
Vic
up on
Moss
it.
speaking about that, and I thought he
But
said three.
you have to get a waiver, and I thought there was like one or two specific drones you were allowed to use. I
As I
want to say
said,
it was.
as I said, I remember being on a panel with Vic Moss, and he stated something about being able to fly a Mini 3 over people, but
But it
they
has
had
to
to,
have the prop guards, right?
A sub
you had to have
250.
either
Yeah.
prop cards or you had to have specific, um, either a waiver, a permit. I'm pretty sure it was a waiver, and
Yeah, yeah.
the waiver had to be something to do with the appropriate amount of public liability insurance.
Now, I'm wondering now, can states pass laws that if you're flying like that in people's faces, could you get them for? I'm wondering if they could pass laws that would say that that would be like harassment. Would that hold up? Like,
And that's
I
and
don't
that's
know,
the whole situation.
because of the public, being in the public, that's a whole other thing being filmed. But would the drone be
Thanks,
considered
Paul.
a nuisance,
Wedge.
a public nuisance?
Hey,
I don't
Yeah.
know.
I can, as I said, I can understand. I can, well, let me say it this way. Unfortunately, with people doing things like this and cowboys going out and thinking it's the wild, wild west, it makes people
What's up,
who do
Brandy?
it for a living and makes people that rely on it, it gives the public a little bit more ammunition to an already not nasty situation, but
Oh,
a
did you
very
watch Paul's video?
yeah, it's I'm trying to think of the right word, but it's like skateboards. People have a built up, not anger, but it seems to be there's a trying to think of the right word.
Yeah,
There's more.
Russell is true. You can
Yeah.
fly over people transitioning. It's like you can
Yes.
fly over traffic to transition,
Transitioning, yes.
but you can't hover.
Yes, transitioning. But as I've stated, there needs to be more education over this. Now, I'm only speaking from my Australian point of view. Over here, if you mention anything about it, you're put in the same category as smokers or skateboarders, whereas people are
Okay.
people are different, and they think, oh,
I don't
you're
want to
doing
read the
this.
rules, Russell. I want you to tell me.
As I said, it's just the way people think about it at the moment, and doing
And I think
things like
flying like
that
that through an active,
it's only going to make it worse.
well, I'm saying, and flying, to me, flying that low through an active parking lot, as active as Walmart parking lots are, even if you got somebody watching, I think is kind of the stupid thing to do. Because those parking lots get busy,
as I've
Walmart
stated,
parking lots.
If you've got paperwork stating that you're going to do that, and you've got a very detailed plan of the way you're going to be going through there, and you are able to keep it to a specific level. You can't go under a certain level, and you're flying around there with permission, then it's okay. But I doubt that he got permission, and he got up pretty close to people. So if something had gone wrong, there would have been hell to pay, personally.
Well, that's what I
So
was saying. Like, anybody that lives in the
I'm not
U.S.
defending him in any way.
that's been to Walmart knows those parking lots are active parking lots. I mean, busy.
Wedge and
I mean, you
Big,
got to be very careful.
Wedge and
Hey,
Big, put in the chat
yeah, I
something.
read that.
Okay.
But no, I'm saying, like, as active as those parking lots are, flying, 10, 15 feet above the ground, yeah, that could have been bad because there's just so many people and cars going through there.
Yeah.
And, who's to say you don't,
Who's to
what
say
if,
if something had gone
well, I
wrong?
mean, like, what if you would have flown over a car that was going through the parking lot and all of a sudden you grab their attention and then they hit somebody walking across the parking
Exactly.
lot? Like, or you hit somebody's car, them driving down one of the aisles and you're flying sideways, following somebody, and all of a sudden you smack their windshield.
Yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
to me, that was really stupid. That's just not.
As I said, in theory, it could have been a good idea, but in practice, it wasn't. So I think
I'm not talking about him necessarily flying over people, Wedge. I'm just saying through that parking lot. Like I said, all you guys know any of you guys that live in the U.S. know how active and busy Walmart parking lots get. And there was a point where he was head level with people flying sideways down the
Yeah.
middle aisles where the cars drive.
Yeah.
And I don't care if you have a visual observer or not, like that's just stupid. That's what I'm saying.
It was just a very poor idea. So yeah, and I totally agree with you, Randy. He does use his position to
Well, that's what I'm saying. And
really-
who's to say states don't start passing laws that say if you're head level with somebody and you're watching them with the drone, that's not considered harassment or something.
think-
You know, they'll come up with some kind of thing
yeah,
because
and
they're not going to look.
that's what I mean.
They're not going to come at it from a camera point of view of, oh, you can't be filmed in public type. Because obviously we all know that with the Supreme Court in the US, you're allowed to be filmed in public, period. You have no right to tell somebody they can't film you in public when you're in a public area. But they're going to come at it from a mechanical standpoint, I think, more than a camera standpoint.
Oh, understandably, because a camera
Right.
can't really do that much damage, but if you're flying something like that, it can. So I think there has to be certain things put in place, but unfortunately, governments are good at overreaching things.
I don't think there should be things put in place. I think people shouldn't do stupid shit like that to begin
Exactly.
with. And then you don't have to worry about
You've got
having
to
all that
basically
extra
force
crap.
people, and the only way to force people is through education. You have to educate people that, okay, they are going to do certain things, but at the same time, you can't flagrantly harass people. Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing, Tim.
And I
It's
kind of
getting a
agreed
lot
with
of attention, but hopefully people do realize that it was a silly thing and should ask to take the video down. I just think it's going to get
like
too
I
much.
said, he's gotten to the point, bro. He don't care. He just wants the views and the clicks. He doesn't really give a shit what anybody thinks.
But you
That's
can
just
get views and clicks without harassing people.
right. But I'm saying he's not looking at it from a logical standpoint. He's looking at it from I don't give a shit what people think standpoint.
Mm. Mm. Okay. But again, it should be just taken down.
And this
Because-
ain't the first time he's done a stupid video like this. Let's be honest. I mean,
And
the
this,
whole
this
remember
is
the
the
whole
first time.
controversy with the Mavic 3 going, what was it? What they
Yeah.
do a ridiculous like 10 miles out or some shit
Yeah,
with that damn thing?
Yeah, Billy Kyle. And he threw Billy
Right.
Kyle under the bus. Then he threw Sean Geeks Varner under the bus. So
Yeah, so
I think
I said,
3 strikes and you're out now.
like that's not the first time he's done stuff like that. I mean, it's whatever. I mean,
Yeah, you are correct, Al.
actually, I think one of the people in the video did get startled by it, like kind of jumped because they didn't see it until it got up right next to him.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, if I went to court and I told the judge, like, I know they say it's not illegal or it's illegal to smack a drone out of the air,
Barclay?
but would I blame somebody for doing that at that point when you're in their face following them down the road? Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, from my personal point of view, I wouldn't blame them for smacking the fucking thing out of the ground. It's one thing if you're just flying and somebody walks up and just kicks it or something out of nowhere. When you're actively following somebody and you're 5 feet from them in their face, I wouldn't really blame them for doing that.
Yeah.
It's no different if somebody was taking an RC car and driving by your feet at 30, 40 miles an hour and almost hitting you every time or, doing circles around you and you're just trying to enjoy your walk in the park and you get frustrated and kick the fucking thing. I mean, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Oh
Enough
God,
of that.
Jesus Christ, Russell.
Yeah. Hmm. Enough of that.
I think you're definitely right about that. I think, Wedge. I just don't know what the feet is. I'm pretty sure you're correct about the first part. I don't know about the second part. What the actual distance is, but I have heard that before.
What, 8 feet? So 8 meters? 8 feet. 25 feet.
And
is about eight.
and I think that only unless they're like actually involved with the filming of the drone video, I think is
Yeah.
when it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. As I said, rules over here are slightly different, but
I know
you've
Al would probably know.
generally 30 meters from any person that is not involved, and I think at 15 if they are an observer. Don't quote me on those.
There's a few 107s in here that probably would be able to
Yeah.
answer that.
Yeah, that's when we need Dre. He's the expert. But yeah, unfortunately, or for depending on how you see it. Hey, Sarah. Yeah.
Douche canoe.
Yeah,
True that.
very valid point.
Well, I mean, it just doesn't help the community in general that likes to fly drones because you already know there's a vast majority out there that don't like drones, and that just doesn't help your case.
Exactly,
sure.
and that's what I was trying to say earlier. That because people have a built up angst about it, and we only see the bad, not the good, because everybody wants to make a light of all the bad things, but we don't really see as many people showing the good, and there is a lot of good out there, especially when you're thermal cameras or using FLIR to find missing search and rescue missing people.
Yep.
But we don't see the good. We don't see the good because people always want to see the bad because they've already got it in their mind that nothing good ever comes out. And that's
right. You don't
part.
You don't see the news media. Oh, look at this beautiful drone footage of this waterfall. You see, look at this drone hit a helicopter today.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I keep saying, Tim. I keep saying that we need to stop talking about it because the more attention it gets, the more people watch it. But at the same time, the more people watch it, the more people realize that it is a douche move. So, yeah, it becomes a very interesting situation then. Yeah, I believe it can transition. You can't hover. You can go quickly because if you're somewhere, you're doing it and someone just walks under, not really much you can do but move it away. Yeah.
Yeah, you're talking about what is it called? I think Wedge is talking about what's it called? The CBOs or COBs?
Yeah.
What was it called? It's like this.
Yeah.
I can't think of the damn name. It's one of these guys in the chat would know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, CBOs.
Like the guidelines that they put in place.
Yeah, and
organization.
FRIA. FRIA.
Community-based organization, I think is called, right?
Yeah, and there's a FRIA, which is a flying a flying area that is designated by like a ordinance or something. And it's an area like that is specifically targeted for flying. What's the other term? It was by the AMA, I think.
And I gotta get Mia in.
Mm.
Come on, me.
Hmm.
Come on, me. Come on. Hurry up.
I only ever watch it when there's drama over there. That's about it.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't. I understand everybody saying, "Oh, don't talk about it because it's giving him what he wants." But at the same time, as you guys being in, I'm not going to say me being in the drone community. I am, but I'm not. I don't really fly drones anymore. But as a whole, it kind of needs to be discussed so you can let
Yeah,
people know that you're not cool with that kind of shit.
exactly. Yeah,
Because if you look at I can see the likes and dislikes on that video, and it was 600 and something to 1.1K dislikes. So he's
I can
got
only
way
see,
more
I can only see,
dislikes.
I've just put it up now, 648 likes.
Right. And when I checked it earlier, because I had, like I said, I have the extension that shows me the dislikes
Yeah.
on videos, it was 1.1K on dislikes.
So that means people don't like or agree with it.
So yeah, there's way more people that didn't like it than liked it for sure. About 400 or 500 more.
I'm just looking at the comments now, and there are some pretty big hitters saying,
There's a lot of more hate comments in there than the
"Oh,
ones that are
definitely,"
defending them.
but yeah, when you go through and you see some of the big names throwing shade on him, then you know he's made a bad mistake.
I think he knows that, Barkley. He's just messing around.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, my whole thing wasn't, I was just curious about what that whole rule was on that. But my biggest concern was just being in that Walmart parking lot, Randy, because like I said, everybody knows that those parking lots, anybody who lives in the US knows how busy Walmart parking lots are, and that can be a very dangerous thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's times where you'll pull out of your parking space and it'll take you 2-3 minutes to get out of the parking lot because there's just constant people walking in front of your car, and you have to give everybody that walks in front of your car the right of way.
Yeah.
They're trying to get out of there, you know.
Here's Dre.
What's up, Dre?
He's in the chat. The real impact will be shown when he does his live stream. The number of viewers will be the mark. Yeah, I certainly will be not necessarily protesting, but I won't take the time to carefully watch it. I'll just have it on in the background or just come and say hello. Yes, and I totally agree. I'm on Dono's side here, and I totally agree with his video. I thought he really made a lot of sense. And I'm a big Dono fan anyway, but Ken Dono really nailed the response.
Yeah. Big fan, big fan.
Big fan, yeah. Big fan. Big fan, big fan. Yeah. Yeah, that's
we'll try because you'll have new
yeah,
people come in that will support him, and
yeah,
he'll fill those numbers back.
fill those numbers definitely, and then he'll do another douche one. And
Because, like I said, it ain't the first video he's done that was super
no, this
controversial.
is
So
as I said, this is the third time he's really douched it up. As I said, he threw Billy Kyle under the bus, and then he threw Sean kicks Fun under the bus. So, hmm. So, yeah.
Well, what I'm saying, Randy, is how
Yeah.
low he was in that parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch him flying with the people at head level doing sideways down the aisles where the cars come down, I mean, I don't care how many people you got. If you got somebody watching in the parking lot, you know, a little car that's shorter than all the other cars parked could come rolling through there and not see it, and boom, right into the windshield.
Hmm.
Like, there's just a lot of factors
so.
that could go wrong, a lot of variables that could go wrong in a parking lot like that. That's that busy. It's one thing if you're 50 feet, 100 feet over the parking lot,
Hmm.
but when you're head level, that could be
Yeah.
dangerous. What's up, Joe?
Yes,
Hey,
Randy.
Joe, how you doing?
Comment there.
Feeling a little better.
Oh, that's good. How's the temperature going along?
Well, I haven't had a temperature since that one day.
Okay, so the temperature's normal.
Well,
Well, that's a
temperature's
good
normal.
start. That's a good start then.
I still got the bronchitis stuff. Fighting that on
Heading
antibiotics
in
and
the right
steroids,
direction.
and
Like,
yeah. But I found out what I had what last week when I went up with the 102 fever. It was pneumonia.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I went to the doctor. He said,
I know how that
"You know how
feels.
wet your lungs sound?" I said, "I know. I can hear."
Yeah, I know. I've been there, done that, so I know exactly how you feel.
And then he kicked into the bronchitis side. It was all right up in here.
Mm,
And he told me, he said, "Yeah," he said, "just keep trucking along." I went last night and shot a basketball game. They
yeah.
had 2 basketball games. And I thought I was going to die.
Mm,
I'm down again. I'm not doing anything.
Mhm.
But getting to what y'all talking about, he doesn't have a show this week.
Oh, he's pulled the show.
No, this week he doesn't have the early. The last week he was early,
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
he?
Let me
I
have a
have
look.
no idea, to be honest
I've,
with you.
I've lost track of time, so I don't know
I
what
lost
day.
track too. I
monitor
think
his-
this week. I think this week is
When
off
this
week.
week is off, and next, yeah,
Was he only goes on every other week, right?
every second week,
Right.
yeah.
Because I think Tammy goes on early this week. So if you're gonna have all the gap in between, when he comes back on in a week, you're gonna
No,
have
he
the same
should be
people
on
in the chat.
tomorrow. He should be on
Well, then it
tomorrow.
should. If he comes tomorrow, it's gonna hurt him.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I know he's on tomorrow because I watched Ken Dono's video, and he was supposed to be the co-host, and he said, Ken has said he's not interested in being a co-host because of it.
But that's a stupid thing to do.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, the
I mean, you
world's
can't-
full of stupid people there, Joe.
And you can't fix, and that was it was all for the views. That's all it was.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
it
Dre,
was all for everybody to remember his name, you know?
I've
Mm.
seen
That's
3
what
or 4, at least 3 of those videos, Dre. So yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Mm. Yeah. And as I said, he threw Sean Giggs Varner under the bus as well. So,
Yeah, a few weeks ago, I was flying with Johnny, and they had a playground, and we were watching the kids in the playground because I really wanted to do the Avada through some of the stuff, but they had too many kids for me to even. I was flying around it, So I was flying, and one time I didn't see him anywhere. We got over. Hold
What's up, Gitchy?
Hey,
on. When I got
Jay,
over the building, there's kids everywhere, so I had to hug the building with the Avada, and I
yeah.
said, "Well, that's it. Get away from that."
Mm.
yeah, because you can't organize kids. They'll just scatter. You know.
Mm.
Well, you definitely just
I got-
don't want to be fucking around kids that you're not supposed to. That you're not. You
Oh,
know, you
yeah.
don't know because that just makes you look bad in general. No matter what you're doing, you go poking around at a freaking playground with a bunch of kids, and you don't have one there with
And
you.
all all the acceptance that we've tried to get in this area, and he just, shits it away pretty quickly.
Yeah, get you. How are you doing? Did you recover from the loss?
Mm.
You go to a playground, and start doing shit like that, you're about to get jumped by a bunch of moms.
Exactly.
You'll find out what it's like to have a Louis Vuitton purse across your face.
Exactly.
Yeah. That was actually a really good game, though. That
Yeah.
Lions game. That was a really good game.
But as I said, from an outsider and had no skin in the game, not having any interest in either team, and as I saw it, Detroit shit the bed in the last quarter.
Yeah.
Well, it was like the teams traded
I didn't
spots,
wanna
right?
lose.
Because
that-
Detroit played really good in the first half, and then
it just comes back.
was it?
As I said, it basically comes back to the other team, Kansas City, knew how to win the game. And that was the whole issue of the game.
Yeah.
Well, like
They
I said, if you
know how
look
to
at
win
it,
it.
though, Kansas City played really shitty the first half, and Detroit played really
Yeah.
good the first half, and then it was like they completely switched.
Yeah,
They
because
flipped.
Detroit
Like all
didn't know how to
yeah.
win the game and put the game beyond doubt.
I think they got
That
a little
does
ahead of
happen. I
themselves,
think-
is what it was. They got a little cocky at the beginning.
Yeah.
But
I-
I kind of understand why they would have got that cocky, because it's the first time they made it that far
Yeah.
and have really like almost gone to the Super Bowl. It would have been a big thing for them. So I kind of understand their hype.
That's a good way to look at it, Gitchy.
But
They were running.
It is what
they
it
were
is.
running on. They were running on pure emotion in the first half. So
it is what it is. I mean,
oh,
they could
definitely. I've been there,
as
done
good
that
as they
myself.
played. As good as they played this year, if they just keep refining their team, they could be right back at it again next year.
Yeah, it's all about how you take the loss. Does it motivate you to get better over the next year, or do you just drop your bundle? And now I say this from my Australian point of view: if my team gets that far and loses, it's a positive thing because they've learned something. Now they've got to learn from their mistakes and learn that once the pressure goes on, you have to be able to drive through that pressure and not let the pressure crush you. So
But yeah, I really liked that game. That game was actually kind of fun to watch because it was to see the
Oh, back
comeback
and
in the
forth,
second
yeah.
half was amazing.
yeah, but to have the balls to come back in,
Because I really thought the
championship
Lions were
game.
going to have that.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If you're a team that is able to come back from almost an impossible situation, then it seems as though you can learn from it.
But that coach needs to realize when he's got 14-point lead and you kick a field goal to go 17 points, kick the field goal, don't try to make another touchdown.
Yeah.
Don't try to get
Yeah.
that first down, because that was the first point.
If it's
Getting us
fourth
up.
and goal,
Well, and the sad part is he did it
get the 3
twice.
points.
But if you notice in high level games like that, in playoff and like Super Bowl games, they tend to not always go with what they would normally do.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
no,
Like
but
they'll go for those they'll go on the fourth downs to try to get the first down more.
But you've got to
in the
go with the
championship games
plan
than they
that
will in the
got you
regular.
there.
Yeah, exactly. But
The
see,
plan got them there, and the way they were playing got them
Because like,
to 17 points up at halftime.
well,
But
what I'm
he-
saying is like,
he's done that many a time though, Justin, and you're right. He was so cocky because he's been able to pull it
Well-
off in the past. And he says, well, let's do it again. Let's do it
Well,
again.
like I
there's
said,
a-
it wasn't just his team. A lot of teams will do that. That's when you'll see a lot of onside kicks and different things like that because they're trying to do whatever they can to try to pull ahead. You'll see a lot more to them taking chances in games like that they normally wouldn't take in a regular game.
Yeah, but as I've always said, there's a fine line between a madman and a genius.
But yes, if he would have
If
went for
that
that
fourth
3
and
point,
goal, but if the fourth and goal had got them a touchdown, he would have been lauded a genius.
Yeah.
Now, the fourth and goal he missed, he's a madman. So
Well,
it's a very
the sad part about it, the 3-pointer is almost 98% possible. The fourth down and 4, iffy.
yeah, because if he would have
Just go
got, if
with
he would have
what
done
got
the
you there.
field goal,
Don't change the game plan in the
But if-
pretty much its second last game of the year.
if he would have went for
played
that
a
field
game
goal,
plan
he
that
might have
got them
saved it.
there. They should have stuck with it.
Well, and the thing of it is he did it 2 times. They
Well, like
tried
I
to
said,
go on fourth down twice instead of Cook. No, it was twice.
Well, like I said, that's just teams tend to take more chances in that type of game than they normally would. Like I said, that's normally when you'll see them going for the first
BJ.
down on a lot of fourth downs. You'll see onside kicks, things that they normally wouldn't do in regular games.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Giggles is here.
Because it's a fight for your life to try to win at that point. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
they're going to do whatever they can to try to beat the other team. So they'll tend to take more chances that are riskier.
Gitchy just watched a little bit of Ken's video and she says not cool in her opinion.
Exactly.
What's up, TJ?
But you've got the Super Bowl coming up. And then
Well,
after that,
this weekend I think is the Pro Bowl,
The-
isn't it?
yeah, I think it's the third and fourth playoff.
No, it's the Pro Bowl.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
Sorry.
where
Yeah, playoffs are done.
the playoffs are done, and then the following week is the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
after that, you're gonna have to listen to me whinge and whine about my football.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna
about
get all you
Australian
involved in
football.
watching my game.
yeah.
And then Gitchy will start her countdown clock till next year.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's basically 6
after the
weeks.
Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, there's 6 weeks to go for our 5.5 really to go for our game.
So,
And then,
Gitchy, who are you going to go for in the Super Bowl? I know you're picking somebody. I know she just ain't going to not watch it as much as she doesn't
well,
want to.
if I'm picking someone, I'll pick the 49ers because I don't want to see the Chiefs go back to back, and at the same time, I want to see Taylor Swift on a losing team.
I don't really care for either team, but I guess I'm going to go for San Francisco since I'm from
Yeah.
California. I guess I'll go for them.
Yeah.
Kansas City is I think right now is favored to win.
They would be.
A lot of hypocrisy, Tim, with them.
Oh, definitely.
Let's see. Smoking, what's going on, man?
Hey, smoking. Early.
Gitchy said
Oh,
he'll watch
Gitchy,
the
you're
Pro
going to
Bowl,
watch
will
it.
not watch the Super Bowl.
She'll peek in on it. Don't let her fool you. She's too big of a football fan.
Yeah, because when you look at it, it's you needed to win that game to play in the Super Bowl. So in the Australian terminology, that's a preliminary final, and the winner goes into the grand final. I've been in that situation where my team has been up by a couple of goals at half time and thinking we're going to the grand final, only to lose that game and not play in a grand final. So
Fuck's sake,
I did
TJ.
DJ.
So yeah, I watch a grand final every year if my team's not in it. You want to see the two best teams going at it.
Gitchy says nope, will not watch.
Yeah.
Or we can always do a live stream during the Super Bowl, and anybody that doesn't have somewhere to go,
Yep,
they don't
there
have
you
a Super
go.
Bowl party to go
Talk
to,
about
And
and
we,
come
and
hang
we
out.
can verbally trash it, right?
Yeah, we can just talk about it as it's happening, like we did
Yep.
with the other games.
Mm.
Because not everybody's going to have a Super Bowl party to go to, so we can do that on Super Bowl Sunday if you guys want. If some of you guys don't have somewhere to
Super
go,
Bowl, and
wanna
it
hang out.
becomes Super Bowl Monday here. Starts at about 10:30, I think. But yeah, there will be a number of pubs that are going to be chock-a-block here because people just love sport here. In Melbourne, we just love sport. Doesn't matter where it is in the world. If there's sport on, it's on the TV.
Get you just trying to trash little Tay-Tay, little Taylor Swift. She's not a Swifty
The
fan.
other the other thing that I only noticed last night was there's a thing from Eminem saying that he would have loved it to be Detroit versus Kansas City.
Oh yeah, because he's a big
He's-
Detroit
yeah.
supporter.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, because he's from
I know I'm
Detroit.
new
So,
here. I'm new here. Remember?
well, I'm saying he's from Detroit, so he's a big Detroit supporter.
Yeah, much like it's always. I always think it's fun here when you've got celebrities that support a certain AFL club, and those two, if those two teams play, there's always a bit of trash talking between them.
Yes.
I actually want to
find
go to
that
his.
very-
I really want to go to his restaurant in
Mm.
Detroit because people say it's fucking delicious. It's called
I'd
Mom's
agree with that,
Spaghetti.
Jim. Oh, but everybody, yeah. Yeah, you're always with the team when they're down the bottom or up the top.
Tim, there really ain't much to see because she's kind of got the chest of a 12-year-old boy. Just so
Yeah.
Who's that?
Taylor Swift.
I don't know.
As pretty as she is, she's not really. She's very
Well, she's
scrawny.
not.
though.
She's not a big bosom, but she's got a nice chest on her. For the dancing and the outfit she wears.
No,
Padding is everything.
yeah.
But yeah, we can do a little Super Bowl Sunday thing.
No, we're not.
Oh.
We're not doing that, Gitchy. We're not doing a shot of alcohol every
Because
time.
I think it will
go on
start
camera.
right around the time you start your show, right, Paul?
Yeah,
Yep.
I would say
Around
it starts at about five-ish.
5 o'clock.
Yeah, it's either 5 or 6. I think the Super Bowl, the actual game starts.
Mm.
There's like 6 hours of bullshit before the game.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it goes all
It's an
day.
all-day thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an all-day thing.
Trying to work out. There'd be-
8 hours
yeah,
of
there'd
fucking
be 6
commentary
hours.
about it.
There's always in our game. There's usually 6 hours of pre-match. Starts at 7 a.m. and the game starts at 2:30. So that's 7 hours, 7.5 hours. We have a breakfast. We start off with a breakfast, and then we just go through all the pre-match trimmings. Hello, Laura.
Shut up, Justin.
Laura.
How's David doing, Laura?
Yeah,
Looks like a Shetland pony. What the fuck, Andy?
Laura, are you going to come on and give us a report on David or what?
Yeah. Doing my head in. Okay.
Tim says he bet she's limber.
Nah,
Does
see,
Tim have
Randy,
anything else on his mind?
yeah, I know. I'm more of a Katy Perry fan myself.
I was just going to bring her up but I just didn't want to.
Now
Didn't want this.
she's
I
got
didn't
the right
want this
amount of
stream to
curves.
go into the gutter.
Well, I
I'm
was
just
looking
saying-
on printables.
I
I
saw
was looking
her.
on printables and go ahead. I'll wait.
I'm
No,
going
no,
to
go
say
ahead.
I saw her in concert. So, you've seen her up close. I must say, yeah, was a good idea.
I was looking on printables a little while ago and they had a category of Taylor Swift. So I said, I know, don't touch it. Don't. So I hit it anyway. Everything was flat.
Yeah.
Now, Katy Perry's my crush. My
Yeah, I would agree with that.
as far as
Right.
singers go.
Certainly.
And then what's her name? I can't think of her name from Evanescence. Oh, she's another one.
Amy Lee,
Yeah. Oh,
because Taylor Swift's 34, Perry is 39, and I think Amy Lee's another year older. I think she's
yeah, I
41.
did too, Wedge. I really liked it.
Yes, totally agree.
Uh,
Mm.
that's what every guy out there is trying to convince their wife and their girlfriend.
Yeah.
You kissed a girl and you liked it. Oh, Jesus, TJ. I just said celebrity crush. You went right into it.
Yeah, as I said, I was trying to be a little bit more civil in my
I was
comments.
just, I was saying
I didn't want
celebrity
this to
crush.
devolve into something that it ends up in the gutter.
You see, who would be as far as movie stars? You think here? I would say Emma Stone.
Yeah, yeah.
I've always had a crush on Emma
I
Stone.
won't disagree. As I said, I won't disagree with you on that. I could throw Anne Hathaway in there is another one that I do like as well.
What did Laura say? Oh, not tonight. We're in bed. That
Okay.
was a little personal, Laura. But okay.
Yeah, we don't need to know that.
Yes, he's married. Ken, but you're allowed to talk about your celebrity crushes. I just wouldn't say that
The whole
particular
pass.
way that TJ said it in front of his spouse.
Yeah, there's always the whole pass.
Everybody has a hall pass with celebrity crush because the chances that happen are like 1 in 100 trillion.
But as Jim Carrey would say, there's always a chance.
You see what Russell put in there?
Oh shit.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Russell. Nancy Pelosi, really? That's fucking disgusting. And I'm not even because
just
of her
want her money.
politics. She's not that great looking to begin with.
She's an old geezer, that's for sure.
Oh, look at what Wedge put. Didn't she die?
Yeah, Margot Robbie, yep. I'll throw that one in. You're right, Wedge. Yep, Jennifer
Oh,
Lawrence.
Jennifer
Yep.
Lawrence.
Have you
Oh,
seen her
Jennifer
latest movie?
Aniston.
Jennifer Lawrence, have you seen her latest movie?
No.
No Hard Feelings, I think it's called. Well, I think you should.
No, Jennifer Aniston after Horrible Bosses.
Oh, Jennifer Aniston, yeah. We're putting
Here comes TJ.
we're putting in a cute
Well,
category.
that's who my future wife is Amy Lee.
Yeah.
Does your current wife
Oh
know
my
that?
God, Russell.
I don't know.
I don't know. TJ,
I would say
Yes.
you're gonna get yourself in a big
I
jam.
take it you've seen that one, Daryl.
She's actually going to Sarasota for I guess a couple of days or whatever.
Check that link.
I would say Emma Stone because as far as a young actress, because she's around my age, she's only a couple of years younger than me. But if I had to pick an older actress, it would definitely be Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah, well, she's
Oh
my
yeah,
age.
she's hot too. I like old Jennifer.
Yeah, she's
Aniston.
my age.
Here comes
Couple of
Andrew.
months- Couple of months younger than me. Yeah, I think
But-
you've seen the same movie, Daryl.
Emma Stone.
Boo.
That's it right there,
Yay.
bro.
Good to see you're
Feeling
alive,
better,
David.
Joe?
Hold
Yeah,
on, let me
I
look at the
agree with
lake
that,
wave.
Daryl. I would agree with that.
I'm stable, but still coughing a lot.
You look like you're feeling better.
Well, were you not
Look-
feeling good the past
Oh.
couple
Must
days,
have a good
Joe?
camera. Yeah, I had pneumonia last week.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that's when I started getting sick. Then it
Damn.
went into
Ooh.
bronchitis.
Oh,
So I'm on a
Oh.
bunch of stuff.
oh Lord.
Yeah, I didn't have a voice Saturday, Sunday, part of Monday.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
Wedge.
crazy.
What's up, Daryl?
That sucks.
Well, it does.
Well, at least you're on the mend.
Yeah, right.
And I broke down last night.
Yeah.
My editor said, please come shoot the girls basketball
out,
game if
Randy.
you can.
Uh,
And I went to the game. I figured I'm just sitting there. And I mean, I'm glad nobody could really be by me because I was coughing a lot. But the girls played Fontainebleau and both teams undefeated in district. And first period starts off, and Fontainebleau takes an 11-0 lead on Mandeville. And I'm saying, oh, come on now. This is not supposed to be this way. The game ended 63-23, Mandeville.
Okay.
Mandeville kept them to 1 point in the fourth period, 2 points in the third period. And it's just
Give it to you, Tim, on that one.
Wow.
They completely just
Natalie
turned
Portman.
around and just beat the hell out of them.
Yeah. No, Natalie
So I was,
Portman. No.
I was glad I was there.
Yeah. For that kind
Yeah,
of a turnaround.
Well, it was tough.
Oh, for
Oh.
fuck's sake, Russell.
Well,
Then Nancy Pelosi has the
I
cutest
can-
hemorrhoids.
We've
Oh my
we've
God.
actually gone into the gutter.
Oh my god.
We have now officially gone to the dark side.
Yeah.
Russell has.
Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. That's funny.
Mm.
hi, David. Russell.
What's up, David? Hope you're feeling better, buddy.
Bird David says, living with Laura, I don't get a voice.
Russell just said she lets me apply her preparation H.
Oh, this one had a age restriction on it. Why is there no volume? What the hell?
Hey, Daryl.
Sound isn't working on it.
The doctor gave me a cough syrup. Went in there to get it, and it says not covered by my medicine, by my policy. $85.
Holy
I
hell.
said,
Ooh.
let me see what it is. They showed me. I said, okay, I'll find something different. I went and found something different on the shelf for 10.
Who knew that getting kidney stones is the way to get good meds at the hospital? 'Cause
Yeah,
They gave me
I agree with that.
hydrocodone last time. And this time they gave me that one. 50
Because usually
pill
that
bottles
codeine
in
is
there.
supposed to help with the cough.
I can't do codeine. Codeine, it just gets me
No,
nauseated too quick.
I'm just saying that usually it's one of the things they use to help with the cough.
Yeah, he had
And-
the one with codeine in it. I told him I can't take that.
Yeah, they
And
gave
the
me a
other
set
one,
of
they,
metafine with codeine this time.
Wow. Then they gave me it was called the Teflon Pearls, the little bitty pills for cough. And I looked at them and said, those things don't work on me. So I don't want them. I've tried them before. They make me nauseated. So
I
I
get
said,
you.
let me just go get some cough syrup.
Yeah, they gave me another week's worth of pain meds this time again, and it's acetaminophen with codeine. Tylenol 3, pretty much, I guess is what it's called.
Wouldn't that be Tylenol's cough syrup? Or
No, it's called Tylenol 3 is the technical term for it. It's like a Tylenol, but it does have opioids in it.
Your
So
Tylenol
it is
3 is a
controlled
good.
substance.
uh Tim,
I don't know about that.
I
That,
do,
that might
I
sound
don't know.
that might sound dangerous.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Any clue about that, Joe? Tim's talking about cocaine.
Never used
It was the go-go 80s. What do you expect?
The thing is, I'll be feeling good, and everything is going good, and then all of a sudden my sinuses should build up and start draining.
Hmm.
And when that happens, it gets in my chest, and it's like a dry heave type of thing. You're trying to cough it up, and nothing wants to come up.
Stay out of
Well,
the truck stop parking lots.
Well,
Where's
I'm
it at?
telling you.
Where's it at? Where's the finger at? I ain't seen the finger in like a week.
Oh yeah, the duck finger.
No.
Oh, that's better. I like the duck finger better. Say hello to my little duck friend,
That's awesome.
my little duck finger.
Duck finger.
Let me see. If it was the same. Hold on. Fucking ads. No, I'll watch it here. I'll save that. I'll minimize that and I'll watch it. I get off here. I don't really watch SNL, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I haven't watched it in
I watched a little bit of that thing. That was so stupid what Ken was doing.
years.
So stupid.
Yeah, I 100% agree
I mean,
with you.
Like why would you want to get people's reaction with a drone anyways?
Well, if anything, he should have just walked around and interviewed people, not fucking drone.
Yeah.
With his drone in their face.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I
Yeah.
wouldn't have blamed somebody for kicking that fucking thing out of the air
Yeah.
when you're doing that purposely. It's one thing if you're sitting there hovering your drone, like say you got it 10 feet in the air and you're hovering it above you, and somebody just randomly walks by and smacks it. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But,
Somebody shows up with a baseball bat.
right, but if you're like right in somebody's face and they're not expecting it, I
Yeah.
really don't blame them for doing that. Like I said, it's no different than taking an RC car and going around circles at somebody in the park and circling them and fucking with them, and then you get mad when they kick your RC car.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's your own damn fault.
Yes, Tim, here we go.
Man, Tim's just still griefing over his ND filters he never got.
Yeah.
ND filters from who?
He won ND filters from Ken like 2 years ago, and Ken never sent them to him.
Oh,
And people were
yeah,
like,
bro.
people kept telling Tim, well, you should have contacted him multiple times. It's like, no, when you're running a giveaway, people shouldn't have to contact you to remind you to send the shit. That should be priority if you're doing giveaways every week. Sorry.
If you
Like I
want,
shouldn't have to, I should contact you through email, give you my address, and that's the most contact I should have to get with you in order to get what I want. Plain and simple. I shouldn't have to keep emailing you for 2-3 weeks reminding you to mail the shit. Like that's not how you should be running a giveaway.
We just got a new giveaway now. We does a camera butter, and he puts the code in the stream, and the first person to use it gets it. So last week I had the thing all set up for the bottom filters. As soon as he put the code on, cut, paste, boop, soap, bolt, pop, got it.
nice.
I had it done within about 10 seconds. It was already done. As soon as that code got put in there,
Oh,
I got him
What
in
did you-
yesterday. The guy said,
You already had the
Sure.
site pulled up and everything?
I had everything ready to go. I just put the code in, hit sale,
Do you-
hit it, and it was gone. like $2,
Ooh.
$2.95. And the camera butter filters, what they do, it's not like the other filters where you got to snap them in. You got a holder you put in around it, and it's magnetic. And then they
Oh,
hold
okay.
each other around the camera.
So there's actually a filter. It's actually called camera butter.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the company's name, Camera Butter.
Oh, I thought
So
that
you gotta
was
lube,
some
gotta
kind
lube
of
up your
thing that they
camera,
made up
TJ.
or whatever.
No, you gotta
So he
spit on
gave
your
me the
camera first.
860, 3264,
Oh,
and he sent me a T-shirt that says
You-
Camera Butter too.
oh,
Usually, what do they
Oh.
go for that set?
$50.
Wow. So you got a good deal. A
Yeah,
steal.
$2.95, and I got a T-shirt.
Yeah.
what does a T-shirt look like?
It just says it's a grayish black like charcoal, and then the yellow writing says Camera Butter.
Oh, nice.
Oh, by the way,
Wasn't bad for $2.95.
the link for movie 4K, they have now updated since Corey did the thing last night and put it on his Plex server. Well, movie 4K updated Beekeeper last night in HD. So I'm gonna put the link back in the
Ooh.
chat. If any of you guys want to grab it and watch it, that movie is fucking amazing.
Which one is it?
Beekeeper with Jason Statham.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Really good movie. So if anybody wants, you don't
So
have to
this
pay
is,
nothing. There's
This is the first one or second one?
no, it's the first one they've ever made.
Okay.
It just came out, but they had a cam version of it on the site for a good 2-3 weeks, and they just updated it last night to a HD copy, and it is really, really good.
What's the plot?
So he's pretty much like a retired agent, but he's like above tier 1 operators. Like this dude is just fucking badass. Like, but he's retired and he's part of a secret program. And pretty much the basis of the movie is he's living with this older lady. She gets scammed, she kills herself, and then he goes after the people that scammed her, and he just tears this whole system down from the bottom up. It's really good. And that's, I don't want to give too much away, but yes, it's free, Randy. You don't even have to
Yes.
sign up for an account. You just go on the website when it comes up, click the Beekeeper movie. A little box will come up with an X, just hit the X and the movie starts. You don't even have to watch no advertisements.
Tim Jackson wants to see the movie Civil War. I'd never heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Oh,
but
that's coming out this year. And what that is it's the movie about the U.S. actually goes into a modern civil war. And it's really but the funniest thing about that movie when I was watching the trailer on it is somehow California and Texas linked up. How the fuck that happened? I don't know. If
Oh, that's a
anything, it'd
lie.
be Texas.
I don't know.
If anything, it'd be Texas and Florida. If you went by size, you know what I'm saying, and kind of common values, it would be Texas and Florida. But for some reason in the movie, Texas and California band together, and it's like half the country
I don't know.
versus the other half.
East
But
versus
yeah, it's
West.
yeah, but in real life though, that'd be like Florida banding up with New York. That just wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Florida and Texas
Mhm.
make sense, make 100% sense. And plus all the states in between would make
I can
sense.
see Texas and say like Oklahoma because they're neighboring states.
Well, the thing is if you and this is just my opinion. I'm not an expert by any means, but I would assume that in a civil war, your biggest dictation of the war is going to be by the biggest populated
All right,
states,
Chrissy, we'll see you.
right? And then all the smaller
Hey,
states
Gitchy,
with
take
less people
care.
are going to follow suit with those states. So it'd be like Florida, Texas, New
What's up,
York,
Lance?
California. Those would be the 4 states that would kind of
Hello,
dictate
Lance.
sides, I think.
So I'll be interested to watch that.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in the spring of 2024 or the fall, something like that. There's a trailer on YouTube you guys can watch of the movie. Looks pretty interesting. Yeah, and then ISS is another one that looks really
Yeah,
good too.
I'd like to.
Wasn't there like some kind of
Maybe.
funny movie or something that you were talking about one time, Justin?
Oh,
Uh,
Joe, do you see Gitchy's comment
Uh,
about the Lions?
funny
it's
movie.
good. I'm glad. I was gonna ask you
Oh,
about it.
I was talking about Hot Tub Time Machine the other day.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right.
I was like, the title is very cheesy, but the movie itself is very funny.
Yeah.
And because of the title, I think it kind of throws people off to like Hot Tub Time Machine. That sounds stupid. But the actual movie itself is very good.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's the link for Civil War if anybody wants to watch it. Later, Gitchy.
You know, Justin, maybe that would be another good channel for you to do movie reviews.
Movie reviews.
Reaction. Movie
No.
reactions.
In other words, like you would give everybody a reason to go watch this show or a reason to go that show, or tune into this on video, or turn into this. This is coming to the
You should
theater.
do something similar like Ashley Burton does.
Don't know who the hell that is.
That she's on YouTube. She's a big she's
Can't be too big because everybody here on the panel never heard of her.
well
I
she's
know.
a
I
well,
watch it.
yeah, she
Um,
she does movie reviews and stuff.
Just go up to the search engine, Randy,
Like-
and punch it in there.
She'll watch movies for the first time and be like, "Oh my God, I've never seen this before. This is so exciting."
Or just hit home at the top, and it should be like one of the first movies at the top of the list. Either that, or you can go to the search engine and punch it in. They have all kinds of TV shows, movies.
Well, Tim, you're right. It does look good. The Civil War.
And ISS is pretty much what that is there's 4 or 5 Russian astronauts, 4 or 5 American astronauts that are on the
Russell's on a
International
roll with
Space
the
Station.
comments.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
what happens is the US and Russia get into a nuclear conflict while they're on the space station, and they actually watch this from the space station. They see all the explosions going off and everything. Well, the US government contacts the space station and says, we want you to take over the space station. So now these 4 or 5 American astronauts got to contend with the 4 or 5 Russian astronauts.
Wait, what are you
I mean,
talking about, Edgeworth? What you talking about? How was what?
ISS, the movie.
Oh, I've never seen it.
No, it's new. It hasn't come out yet. There's
It's coming.
trailers for it. Yeah.
It's coming shortly.
Just
Oh.
like Civil War hasn't come out yet. They just have trailers out for them. They'll be out this year, though.
There's a new Ghostbusters Frozen Empire.
Oh, I think I
Oh,
saw the
oh.
previews for that, I think.
Yeah.
Debbie does Dallas. Oh my God.
Uh,
It looks okay. Doesn't look great, you know?
What's up, Chris?
I think I'd like to go see that I think I'll go
Okay.
see the Bob Marley movie.
Yes.
I prefer the
So,
first one. The first
Here, let me
Ghostbusters.
show Russell here. So right here, there's a lot of Christmas movies for some damn reason. But if you
Oh,
just
no.
hit home at the top, it should be right there, or just go here and put
Oh,
in the
Beekeeper.
Beekeeper.
Oh,
You
it's
have to
got
put it
Wonka
in.
on there. Wonka has not been out long.
But they'll tell you right here whether they're HD or
Oh,
canned
I've got
versions.
absolutely no interest in
Oh, I
watching
know.
them.
Oh, he's talking about my impression of Ashley Burton, like my impression I did of her. She goes, she'll watch a movie for the first time, like, oh, I've never seen this
Russell.
movie before. This is really good.
You see Russell there, Justin?
Me and he got choked up.
Give you behind. Get over here, Russell.
Daryl said his friend watched ISS. Said it's decent.
It's probably I think it's in the theaters now.
So I wonder what movies are coming soon.
It is definitely not on any of the sites that I use, so it's must have just came out in theaters. But what's great about that website is even though they have cam versions, when they get the HD version, they update it. So usually a month or so after it's been out in theaters. And here's another site too. You can also try, Randy, if you're having issues with that one. This one's pretty much the same setup. You can try that one as well. It's right at the top of the list when you go to it. I've never had issues with either one with the movie 4K site. That site works flawlessly.
There's an Alice in Terrorland. And there's another one about the Joker called Joker. Beetlejuice
Oh
2.
yeah, I haven't seen that movie, but a lot of people said it wasn't all that great.
Yeah, Beetlejuice 2 is they actually redid they're actually going back to some of the original sites that they shot the first movie in, because they actually did an
Oh.
agreement with the town on the bridge that was in the movie. The agreement with the town is they're actually going to redo the whole bridge for them.
And then who
Or they're-
remembers the movie Twister?
Oh yeah, that was
The
a good
tornado?
Yeah.
Well, there's about to be a sequel called Twisters coming out
Oh,
in 2024.
huh.
Well, good luck with that. Bill Paxton is no longer around.
Oh, and congratulations to Donald too. He has
Yeah.
become a grandfather today.
Congrats to Donald
Oh,
as well.
nice.
Ooh.
Nice. Congratulations.
The gray hair has finally caught up with him.
Uh,
Yeah, I'd agree with that, Daryl.
Or
I'd be watching Beetlejuice too for the same reason.
I think there was
Uh,
I saw that there was like a musical for Beetlejuice or something.
yeah, I think
That
there
wouldn't
is.
surprise me.
I think there is.
Yeah, I saw it advertised, like, what? A musical?
Yeah, I read that, Daryl, the comments in there about the movie.
Daryl, I don't know if Jenna Ortega is in it or not.
Oh, okay. Well,
I
if
would.
she is, I'm watching. If she isn't, I'm not watching.
No, and you.
I don't even know when it lands. You know, when it comes, it's theaters or streaming, whatever.
And you don't really need a VPN. You don't need a VPN to watch those sites. If you have one, you can still turn it on if you want to, but you don't have to have one.
Oh, and then there's a female Spider-Man, and it's going to be Madam Web.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Who's playing the Spider Woman?
Starring Dakota Johnson, Sydney
Ooh.
Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, Isabel Merced, Tahir Rahim, Emma Roberts, Mike Epps, Adam Scott, and Zoja Mehmet.
So does that mean that we see Dakota Johnson in something very tight?
I don't know any of those people except Mike Epps.
I'm assuming what's his name is going to be in it, right? The original Beetlejuice. Michael was it Michael Keaton? I'm
Michael
assuming
Keaton.
he's going to be in it. Why? If he's not, dude, I don't know.
I don't know.
It should be like Beetlejuice's son and Michael Keaton's the dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jenna Ortega. Isn't it Susan or no? Jenna Ortega.
You don't know who Jenna Ortega is?
No, I don't think so. No.
Michael Keaton is now 72.
Who's
Yeah.
who's Jenna Ortega?
Look her up.
Okay.
And while you're there, look up Dakota Johnson as well.
Oh,
But
okay.
she's got
50
a famous
Shades of
mother.
Grey.
She's got a famous mother and a famous father.
Oh.
I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out when I was
Oh.
working
Oh,
at
that
Walmart.
was a stupid movie. That's so stupid.
Well, they
she-
had it right when we had 50 Shades of Grey at Walmart, and we had to do the movie mods and put it out on the shelf. It was actually between two kids' movies, and somebody complained to Walmart somewhere in the United States and bitched about it. And so Walmart had every store take it and put it on its own shelf down at the very bottom, away from all the kids' movies. So we had to redo the whole mod the next day because of that.
Hmm.
Somebody complained it was in between two kids' movies.
Oh Lord.
Oh, Wednesday Adams, yeah.
Yeah, she's Wednesday.
Isn't she pretty?
Wasn't 50 Shades of Grey about coloring?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
about kids coloring, right?
I think so, yeah. Something like that.
Oh, and she
Yeah,
inspired.
good place for it.
She did the Wednesday dance as
Yeah.
well.
Oh yeah, the Sonora shake.
Oh,
Sonora shake it all the time. That one.
Oh, that was from Beetlejuice.
Yeah, the first one.
That was Winona Ryder.
Yeah.
And the singer was an old singer. He just passed away less than a year ago.
Harry
Jamaican or something?
Harry Belafonte.
Belafonte.
Yes, Harry
Yeah.
Belafonte.
Belafonte. Huh.
oh yeah, she's young, bro. She was born in 2002, Jenna Ortega.
Yeah. 21.
I didn't think she was like. I didn't think she was older than that. She just has a really young face. That's why she was able to play like a 15, 16-year-old in the show.
Hmm.
Well,
But I mean,
TJ,
most
go ahead.
as I say, most TV shows and movies, people are usually in their early 20s playing teenagers.
Yeah.
Harry Belafonte is known for Deo, the Banana Boat
Yep.
song.
Yep.
Deo,
TJ?
Deo.
Yep, that's the one.
Daylight come and we wanna go home. That was
Yeah,
on.
and the last Scream.
That was Beetlejuice too.
Yeah, she was in the last Scream movie too. I actually saw that. It wasn't bad. I was never really a fan of the original Scream when it came out. I watched it. All the sequels they did for it, I didn't really care for.
All right,
Well,
guys, hop off. I got dinner with the in-laws and wife tonight. So.
Oh,
good for you, TJ.
Say it with a little bit of enthusiasm, Jesus.
When you sit down with them, I'll tell them who your fantasy woman is.
I know, right?
no.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Okay, TJ.
Adios.
Later.
Tim, I don't know if she was also in Scary Movie or not.
Who, Jenna Ortega?
Yeah.
No, those movies were
Ah.
made back when she was a kid, dude. The original Scary Movie came out, I think, was it fucking 99 or something? She
Yeah.
wasn't even born yet.
Because there was one with Charlie Sheen in it.
Uh,
You remember that?
Well, if she wasn't in the scary movies, what's Tim talking about? Jenna Ortega was in the last two Scream movies.
Scream.
I think
Scream.
that was like 2012. No,
yeah, no,
2020?
Scream was so Scary Movie was a parody of Scream and other horror movies
Okay.
from the 90s and 2000s. But she would have been a little kid when those movies came out, so she definitely wasn't.
Scream and Scream 6, 22 and 23.
So probably Scream 3 or 4.
So yeah, the last Scary Movie came out in I think 2000. What was it? Scary Movie 4, I think, was the last one. That was in 2006. So yeah, because the first one was in 99. Second one was in 2001, which still she wasn't born. Scary
Yeah.
Movie 3 was 2003. She would have only been a year old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
2006 was the fourth one. So yeah, she wasn't in any
Are-
of those.
Are they good? Do you think they'll do another scary movie?
I don't know. After the Wayans
they're
brothers
done.
didn't do them anymore, I think they did the first two. I know for sure they did the first one. I think they did the first two. After that, they got really cheesy. I mean, they were funny for what they were, but they weren't as good as the original. I like the first two better than the rest of them. But that's what I said. When you're doing a parody movie, though, you have to find a right balance of funny, and you can't go overly cheesy. If you go too
Yeah.
cheesy, it just makes the movie stupid. You have to
It-
find a
it-
good balance.
It gives you a bad vibe.
Like, Not Another Teen Movie was stupid. Like, that was too cheesy. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's got to be a fine line of making fun of other movies, but not going so crazy that it's stupid.
Well, is that almost so cheesy that's almost become classic?
I
Classical
mean, Not
cheesy?
Another Teen Movie's got a couple of good scenes that are funny, but I don't know. Like, the first Hot Shots was funny, really funny, but I think the sequels were
Oh.
stupid. But the first one was really funny.
You sound very terrible.
So terrible.
Okay, well,
I was calling you because the girls had me call you because the internet's not working on her TV. So you already know what you did.
yep,
All right, I love you, call.
okay.
I'll try to come down when I can. I just don't feel good. right
Well, don't worry about it. We'll see you tomorrow.
now. Yes, sir. The one in the living room.
All right, okay,
All right, then.
bye.
All right, then.
Well, Jurassic Park was a good movie.
I actually liked all the Jurassic Park movies.
I have the
I didn't
original.
really.
I have the original.
I really don't think any of them were bad, but that's just my personal opinion. I enjoyed the whole series of that.
Because there was just one released, what, last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, it was
Pack?
Jurassic World. Was it World
World
Domination or
Kingdom
World?
or something?
Yeah, it was because they had the two last Jurassic Park movies. The second to last one was how the dinosaurs actually got to the mainland, and then the last movie was everybody kind of adjusting to life with dinosaurs in the wild, kind of running wild throughout the country and all the different continents because they got loose and all that. I think they're coming out with one more and then that was it, but I'm not sure.
I can't imagine they'll do too many more, you know?
No, I would say there's probably room for maybe one more movie and that's going to be about it.
Because then they'll be running up against Harry Potter for a number of movies.
They'll be running up against fucking Fast and the Furious. That shit has gotten ridiculous,
What-
man.
Was
Don't get me
it
started
10?
on that fucking.
Was it
They're up
10
to
movies
10,
now?
number
Or
10.
11?
Yeah, and it's spanned
10.
since the first movie was in 2001. It's now 2023 or 2024.
I think there was several years
No.
between at least two of them, right? Yeah.
Right, but that a whole series has spanned what 23 years now,
Yeah.
and it's just that each movie has gotten more and more ridiculous and unrealistic than the previous one. Like the first three were good storylines. They were about just basic guys who were street racing, and that was Fast and the Furious, and then Too Fast, Too Furious, and Tokyo Drift. Once they went past Tokyo Drift, that's when they all became freaking secret agents and nuclear engineers and all this crap that, yeah, and working for the CIA and all this stupid shit. Like, I really enjoy going back and just watching the original Fast and the Furious because the storyline was just basic. It was just a bunch of guys street racing, getting into a little bit of trouble.
That's
Made for a good movie.
a solid storyline could make or break the movie.
But the last 3 or 4 movies were just ridiculously unrealistic compared to the first one.
Have you seen Fast and the Furious, Paul?
No. Oh, yeah. Way back when.
Very first one, yeah.
I don't watch movies.
That's actually what
No.
inspired everybody to start putting fucking underglows
like-
on their cars. And
It's like every night I turn on the Star Trek regos, you know? Replays on on cable.
I thought once in a while you'd want to watch just
No.
watch a movie,
No.
even an old movie.
Yeah, I watched Gunsmoke.
Is that in black and white?
Yeah.
Sarah's dad used to watch the old
I also
westerns all
watched The
time.
Rifleman that was from 1959.
Yeah.
I think you can watch that on a channel called MeTV.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they
That's-
have like Nick at Night and all those other movie channels that do the older shows and movies.
That's what my neighbor has on a lot. He's like 87.
That's my compadres.
Shatner Trek movies are fun,
Mm,
according to Rigger.
yep. Hi, Mark.
up,
You,
Mark?
you saw the first Star Trek movie, right, Paul?
Yep.
1979.
What'd you think?
I thought it was good, but it's so long ago. It's fun to watch, but it's not anything to really dwell on. All the movies that I've watched over the years are just filed, you know, that they're not. I'm not
Do
a
you think
movie.
the-
I'm not a movie fan. Let's put it that way.
Do you think the older movies are better than the newer ones?
No, I think the older movies are older movies. The newer movies are. You have to be in the psyche of what younger people today watch versus what people my age used to watch. It isn't the same kind of movie.
True.
Yeah, there's no comparison. There's no comparing a movie from the 50s or even 70s to a movie now. It's just far as you know, what do you want to say, like special effects and all that.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's just not you can't really compare them, but people tend to like stuff from their era, and every generation thinks most people from their generation think that they had the best music, the best movies. I mean, kids that were born in
It's true.
2000 are going to think that they had the best music and best movies when they get older. Like, that's just the way it is. I mean, you're going to always have people in every generation that appreciate and enjoy going back and watching and listening to older stuff. But the vast majority of every generation thinks that they have the best.
But
So,
between Dominic and Paul, I think that generation had some of the best music.
North by Northwest, great classic.
Yeah, it is. Rock Hudson. Cary Grant. No, Cary Grant. Sorry.
Mark. Nobody
Cary Grant.
smoked during the movies that Paul watched when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Like Charlie
Mark.
Chaplin silent films.
Mark, you're referring to the mime films.
Paul was already middle aged when I was a kid.
Hmm.
He was in his 40s. Yeah.
Did you see we shot down another missile this afternoon in the Middle
Dude, that
East?
shit is.
It came close enough they had to use their machine gun.
Oh, the Sea Whiz?
Yep.
Those things are badass, bro.
And then we shot down one yesterday before it barely took off. Surprised we didn't launch a missile at it to destroy the site.
Yeah. Iran's really, really getting into some shit right now.
They said if we retaliate, then Iran will retaliate. What Iran
Yeah.
said.
I'm- The only reason Iran hasn't been. Because if the U.S. military had it their way and somebody launched a missile at their base and killed 3 people or a drone, I think it was a drone, the U.S. military would have retaliated quickly and fast and hard. But they're hemmed in by politicians, so they can only do so
Yeah.
much. So,
Well, the other
If-
thing you can't just ignore a bully and try to placate the bullies, and that's what's going on with all these. They're paying for all of these gangs to gang up on Western societies. You got to take them on. You got to wipe them out.
In the
Mark,
1980s, in the 1980s, 10 American soldiers were injured. Ronald Reagan sunk half of the Iranian Navy.
Yeah.
yeah, it was Operation
Sunk.
Prey Mantis. There was 3 surface attack groups in Operation Prey Mantis back in the 80s. It was
You know, it's
89,
like-
I
it's
think.
like the old saying, "Don't poke the bull." You know.
Hmm.
Well,
Bull's been poked enough. It's time for the bull to charge.
Well,
That's
like I
right.
said, it would have already been taken care of if it was up to the military itself, but
I
That's
don't know.
where they
You got
could-
these military generals on the news talking about.
I'm
"Oh,
talking
well,
about
we got we can't. You got to take it easy."
Well, you got to take generals. Generals, though, you got to put them up there with politicians. They're not the guys on the ground. If you were to
Yeah.
if you were to turn anybody below a general or anything just loose and say, you defend yourself as you see fit, they would have leveled Iran in a matter of days. But they can't because they're hemmed in by politicians.
Well, and
The
the
generals,
the obvious
generals
thing,
are just politicians as
the
well.
obvious thing, Justin, is we need to go and wipe out their oil industry.
What we
Just
need
kill
is
kill all the oil plants and everything, and just say, "Hey, there you go. Now you're ruined."
Hmm.
Mark, what are you referring to? A Tempest. Is that a new weapon?
what do they say? Oh, like I said, you can't say that the military itself doesn't have balls. It's just the guys at the top.
Yeah.
I put my total faith in the rest of the guys down below on the lower level. Like they can handle themselves just fine if they were allowed to. They would have no problem handling themselves. It's all the guys at the top. Oh yeah, I saw that rigger too. What we need is Schwarzkopf back. That's what we need.
Ooh.
Schwarzkopf was that dude didn't fuck around, man.
Oh,
Want to talk about a general that knew what he was doing? The display that he did in the first Iraq war of the amount of troops he moved around and the tactics he did. That man knew his shit, and he didn't treat people below him like garbage either.
Tim, one of those
Schwarzkopf
people,
cared about his people.
Tim, I think one of those people might be Donald Trump.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Tim, is I have faith in our military. It's just the leaders. But the military itself has no problem dealing with anybody if it comes to toe with somebody. Those guys will do what they have to do, period.
So I think if Trump was president, Ukraine would not have happened.
It's hard to say. I think a lot of leaders were afraid of him because they didn't know what he would do. Because he wasn't a predictable politician.
Unpredictable.
And which made him scary to other countries.
Let's see, Tempest. US.
I see they took all the, had a Senate hearing today on TikTok and Facebook and all those big executives. Because of
Yeah.
child porn and child influence and
Yeah. Well, if you think about social media like Facebook was not originally made for kids.
And you got a point there, Rigger. You know, it's a definite. You have to think things through before you just go in. You have to. There's a fine balance.
yeah, what you got to take away though is Iran's ability to pay for all these other factions to attack the Western world. You know, it all comes down to money. So you got to take the money out of Iran somehow. And 90% of their income doesn't come from taxing the people that live there, comes from their oil production. It's like you got to cut the head off the snake, right, Joe?
Yep. You gotta get
Yeah,
rid of
that's
oil.
true. Mark, the Tempest won't be ready till at least 2030. And it'll cost like 40 billion pounds.
My son passed his stress test.
Oh, yeah,
He went Monday. Because he started having chest pains. He couldn't figure out why. I still think it has something to do with the steroids he's taking.
With his
And
what?
the steroids he takes.
Oh,
He's through a doctor prescribed the things, but he's having issues when he's lifting weights and things like this. So he
Yeah,
went and did the stress test, and he surpassed everything perfect, no problems, no chest pains, nothing, and they cleared him back to full duty. So he's working the street today, but he's got to wear a heart monitor for a week. They're gonna have him on it just to check him, and he says he hasn't had any chest pain since.
yeah.
But it's either something stressing you out, or it's the steroids. I'm telling you, or you worked out differently and strained a muscle, and that's what you're feeling.
Steroids.
it could be both.
It's probably the roids.
Steroids are for muscle building.
Oh, you,
It- It,
your son's taking
if he-
steroids?
Well, yeah, he went up
Confused.
from 180 pounds to 199 in less than a year, and completely changed his whole body physique.
Oh, you couldn't
it's
really,
just-
you can't really be on those if you're a cop, though,
Uh,
can you?
Well,
long,
all the cops up there on it, everybody on it, even the chief.
Okay.
if you're on long term and heavy usage, once he gets to your age, his body's not going to look great.
Well,
He's
They
not-
will
he's
catch
not
up with you
He's
for
not
sure.
worried about that.
I look better than him at his age anyway. He'll never
Well, you
get this
might-
good.
Well, you're like a fine wine. You look better with age.
As far
Yeah,
as
I'll go with
tomorrow-
that.
And Andrew's
Universal-
dancing around the issue. You notice that?
I'll go with that. I'll stay with that.
Oh, Universal's taking the rights away from TikTok, huh?
Yeah.
Being able to use their artist music.
Apparently, one of the artists involved with that is Taylor Swift.
Yeah, somebody put a Taylor Swift on there the other day on TikTok, but on X, on TikTok, and a bunch of nude stuff. An AI,
I don't
AI
think
nude Taylor Swift.
I don't think they have. I don't even think she owns the rights to her music because didn't she get into a big old legal thing with some guy that bought all the rights to her music not too long ago? Pretty sure it was her. I don't think she actually owns the rights to her music. I think some record label owns it. So it wouldn't have been her that got involved. It would have been whoever owned the rights to her music. Because there's a lot of big name artists out there that don't actually own their music, but they get royalties off of it from the record labels.
So
I mean, they have
another thing
they
happened.
haven't. Do I?
I said the other thing that happened today was State Farm came out to look at my daughter's vehicle. I got in an argument with her yesterday, the woman on the phone. She told me, she says, yeah, we got to break it down to see if there's any mechanical damage. You're responsible for that. That's all bullshit. I said, I'm not responsible for that. Water was up to the dash. I said, it's a water car. It's done. I said, once it gets to a certain level of the car, it's done.
So what is she trying to
said, I
say?
was-
If there was
I-
any pre-existing damage to it?
Yeah,
Is
but
that what-
that's, no, they can't do that. You know,
How are you going to
So,
tell?
Is
to
that the
break it down and
ghost?
make me pay for it. So what wound up happening was they sent an adjust out. He walked out, looked at it, a redneck
Okay.
from Illinois. And he looked at it, he looked at the water and said, oh man, this thing went all the way up to here. I said, yeah, it did. He goes, yeah, I got you. It's total. Like that. And he went full of engine oil to see. There was no water in the oil. I said, yeah, but turn the key and see what happens. He says, yeah, I'm not turning the key. He said, you probably got water in there somewhere. But he said it was going to be a total. But that's
Yeah.
Well,
ridiculous.
I think
I
the
would.
biggest problem when cars get waterlogged
Chuck.
like that, it's not so much the engine and transmission.
What-
Isn't it more or less all the electrical and shit that runs through the car?
What's up,
Is
Chuck?
what-
How
is,
much?
is the biggest issue?
Yeah,
What's up, Chuck?
all electrical's shot, you know.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
gotta
In order to
it's-
rewire a
yeah.
whole car would be fucking thousands of dollars. I'm talking about tons and miles of freaking wiring and wiring harnesses. And yeah, that's
So, how's it going up there, Chuck?
Oh, it's going. Get it pitched a nerve or something now.
You got a pinched nerve?
I think so. Ow. Right in my neck.
oof.
Oh,
Shit happened.
ouch. Did you do that flying a drone?
I just moved wrong. That's what happens.
Oh,
Start to
okay.
get older. Shit just
As you get
Ooh.
older. Yeah. See, Chuck Andrew doesn't understand these things about when you get older.
Yeah, just I don't know what
Well,
I could
'cause
have
I
breathed
could s-
wrong and it happened. Who knows?
And you got to also watch how you cough when you get older. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can't trust the fart.
Shit, Aubrey's only 9 years old, and Sarah and her were sitting over by the bed doing something on the floor, and Aubrey bent over to grab her something and sneezed really hard and pulled a muscle in her back. She's only 9 years old. And she got up crying, like she stood up crying in tears. And I had to put a icy hot patch on her back.
Be all right. Part of them deals, man. Anyway, I haven't been on here in a while. What's going on?
Not much.
Just the usual.
Usual.
I'm waiting for my new drone to show up
Oh, that's supposed to be here today?
The other
tomorrow.
20 drones you have aren't enough?
No, I sold off all my drones. I've got the Outtown Nano, but the one I fly that I do all my videos with, the Air 2S, I lost it on a ice flow.
Oh no.
Yep.
He went to go fly the ice and hit a power line, and it flipped over upside down.
Flipped over
Ice
and
flow.
landed on the ice flow upside down, and it was shale ice. You couldn't walk on it.
So it's out to sea now.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm sure some polar bear is flying it right now.
Could be.
Maybe. That sucks, man. I'm sorry. That really sucks. You can find my drone. You can watch it floating down the river.
Well, Paul could see it because the damn strobe lights were still on it.
The strobe lights were still going while it was upside down.
Oh, dude, the humanity.
Yeah.
Well, you know, gotta watch out for those power lines. You know where they are. They didn't move.
No.
Yeah.
And the sad part of it is, I just got done doing this. This is on a river that goes into the St. Clair River, which goes into lakes. I just got done doing a video of it because where there's a bridge that goes over to Blue Water Bridges over to Canada, there's a bridge that goes across there, and the ice flow was jammed all up in there. And I flew all the way down like 3 miles, 4 miles, and flew back and got video and everything, like 9 minutes of video. And I came back and I says, well, you know, maybe I should go and check under that bridge and see what's under there, because there was a report that there was either a Sea-Doo or a Ski-Doo jammed up underneath there.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came down and I went towards it, I hit this power line that was across the river, and all I did was on my screen did a flippity floppity down, and for some reason it didn't record to my controller.
Oh, it didn't cache. I'm sorry. Well, you know, dude, when I was in Iceland, I wanted to fly over the icebergs and stuff, and I popped the drone up, and I went out, and I got my shot, and I was like, "That's great, drone's coming back. No effing about, because of shit like that."
Yeah,
So,
it was totally my fault, Chuck, because I came back and was hovering, and I could have landed, but then at the last.
you know what though, Paul, we've all been there, man. I
Yeah.
mean, like you saw an opportunity, you went for it, and the odds of that happening are pretty slim. So I mean, it's just shit luck. That's
Yeah.
all. Well, I mean, you know, you screwed up, but I mean, it's just shit luck.
Yeah.
We're all human, so sorry, sucks. But yeah, some polar bear is probably flying your drone right now.
Well, what
That'd
was cool was like 20 minutes after it happened and Paul got home, Russell hooked him up with a brand new Mini 3 Pro combo.
Yeah.
Fly more kit.
The
Just
Mini
gave it
3
to 'em.
Pro is pretty respectable. I'd like a Mini 4 Pro, but I don't need it because like the camera is the same camera essentially, and there's a couple little perks with Mini 4 Pro that don't matter because when you have a Mavic 3, Mini 4 Pro is just backup anyway.
You've
That's a
flown
big
the
drone,
Air.
man.
You've flown the Air 2, right? or the Air 2S, right?
Air 2S is the one I lost.
Chuck?
Yeah. Not me. No, I've never. The only air drone I've owned is the OG, the very first one, and then I quickly became uninterested in them, disinterested, because I'm a Mavic guy for sure. I fly Mavic.
Yeah, he likes all the pro ones, like the Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 30.
Well,
I like the I mean that those drones
Chuck likes
serve me
the Air.
really well.
Chuck likes the Air 3.
I have no interest in the Air 3, but it is a very respectable drone. I just have no interest in it. But I've really, Jesus, I think we all have. I've throttled way back. I don't just run out to buy a new drone anymore because now I need to like think about it. Like, do I really need it? Am I gonna?
Yeah.
Is it gonna help me? Is it gonna help me get better stuff, or isn't it? And pretty much like Justin said a million times, but they're all so good now that it probably won't help. It'll just take money out of your pocket. So,
Right.
But as Chuck has said before,
Yeah, I
unless
mean-
there's a huge change, why upgrade? Because
something
it's
that's
only
gonna
minute
benefit you.
difference.
Yeah.
There's minute
Well, and
difference
that's the thing
They
is
are,
there's
between generations.
they're like cell phones, they're plateaued, and you can afford to go 2 or 3 generations before you need to upgrade again.
You really
I mean-
can. I mean, I still have a Mavic 2 Pro that I need to get rid of, but honestly, if
Wow.
if I didn't have a Mavic 3, the Mavic 2 Pro is still a viable drone. It gets great stuff.
Right.
But why get rid of the 2 Pro if you can use it as a backup?
Because I have a Mini 3 Pro for my backup and smaller
Ah.
jobs. So the Mavic 3 Pro has been obsoleted by me, not itself, just by me. I just don't need it, Andrew. It's like I'm good.
Yeah.
But and you know, Mini 3 Pro and Mavic 3, and I think even Air 3 all have similar flight time. I mean, it's ridiculous flight time. You're talking 35 minutes or more easily.
Yeah.
And that's great flight time. You don't have to carry as many batteries with you. You can carry 2 batteries and you have an hour's worth of flight time, which is usually plenty for me. at
Oh,
least
yeah.
what I do.
Well, and there's the
Unless I
vast
really
majority.
get-
Oh, go ahead.
No, go Justin. You're saying the vast
I
majority.
was saying there's a vast
Uh,
majority of people that will go out of their way to buy the Fly More kit, but they'll never use more than one battery at a time. Like they'll
Yeah.
go out somewhere and fly, and they'll, you know.
Well, the Fly More is cool because if you get to a place, it's just you get your shots that you want, and then you're like, oh wait, I got tunnel vision. I didn't fly over here. So then you have enough battery power where you could investigate and get some shots in some different zones and get out of your tunnel vision mode and get some cool stuff. It's one of my fatal flaws that I get tunnel vision when I'm flying, and I'll miss out on other opportunities in the same area. Paul did not miss out. He didn't have tunnel vision, but the power line screwed him. But I mean, he was thinking right. He was getting other shots, which is cool.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah, as
when
long
a
as
little
as
more
long as I
fun.
was down there and it was cold but it was bright and sunny, get it,
Yeah. But it is
Well-
cool now. You can a lot of the drones you don't need the Fly More unless you just look at it. You're like, okay, I'm paying this much for the Fly More. What am I getting? You're probably getting a couple of batteries, and then what else are you getting that makes it? Is it worth it or not?
Yeah.
Mavic 3, I actually didn't buy Fly More because the bag that they gave you was it was $300 for a bag that I was never going to use. So I just bought everything a la carte. I bought the drone, I bought the drone basic kit, and then I bought a couple of batteries and the battery charging hub, and I bought it that way, a la carte, piecemeal.
Yeah.
And it was still much cheaper than the Fly More, and I got what I needed. So
Yeah.
I saved some money. Anyway, you have to evaluate it case by case. Just look at it. See
Well, Chuck, Tim Jackson sent you a message in the chat. He says, send it to me, Chuck.
what?
The Mavic 2, I think he wants the
It's
Mavic
gonna
2
cost. It's gonna cost more to ship the Mavic 2 Pro to Australia than it's freaking worth.
Yeah.
The sad part of it. Jesus, it really
Even
is sad. But I think
even converting that to Australian dollars.
yeah, it's not pretty.
Or if you fly drones enough, especially every day like Paul, it's not a matter of if you're going to lose a drone. It's just
Oh
a
no,
matter of
no,
when.
oh,
It's going to happen
go ahead.
at some
It's
point.
when, yeah.
Whether it's your
I
fault or the drone flies the hell off, it's going to happen.
well, look at Billy Kyle. Billy Kyle just had that incident where
Yeah, he
everything
went
was
into the
fine.
mud. Yeah.
He just dropped out of the sky, lost an electronic speed controller, and down it
Eh.
went like a rock.
Any
And,
clue why?
Well, he
didn't
sent
say.
he sent it back, didn't he, Chuck? And what there was a turnaround, and it only cost him, I don't know, $70.
$68 it cost me.
Not how much,
$69,
Chuck?
just like that's exactly what I paid on my Mavic
Yeah, it's
3 when I wrecked
69,
my Mavic
yeah.
3.
How
So,
much? How much, Chuck, did it cost him?
a smidge under $70 US, super cheap.
And they replaced it, and when they replace it, DJI replaces it with brand new.
Brand new
And
one,
that's
yeah.
exactly what they did for me on my Mavic 3 when I wrecked it. And I wrote to them, and I sent it to Drone Nerd, and then that's when I paid the fee. And then my story is weird, but just summarize, I told DJI everything. When I asked for an RMA, I told them everything that happened. It was like, okay, I was flying it, I set it down on a bag, it fell into frickin' sand, and that was the end of the motor. I couldn't clean it out. Then I tried to change the arm on it, made it even worse. And so that's what you're getting. And they still sent me a brand new drone. So I am, Billy probably feels the same way. It's like, they took care of them, and it's great. And they were fast.
That's good
Really
service,
fast.
though.
Yeah,
Good
didn't he?
service
Didn't
considering.
he sent it in like on a Saturday or a Monday, and he got it back by Wednesday or Thursday.
Yes, it's just that fast because they have
That's
stock
fast.
here in the United States, so they ship them out of like Texas or something.
Yeah,
They ship
Texas
out.
is their home headquarters. Yeah.
Yeah, it's out of
It's
Texas.
either
Yeah.
California or Texas.
Yeah, it probably
I think
depends
they
where
have-
you're located, but that's
I'm honestly surprised they don't have one in Florida and New York, because you think they would have one at least
Yeah.
in all the four most populated states.
It's
well, me
weird.
too. But
Dell also, the repair hub is in Texas.
Well, Texas has kind of become a new hub for a lot of companies because of the tax breaks they're getting on everything. They're getting
Yeah, right.
they're getting a lot of incentives to move there.
Chuck,
Uh,
how was Lori's birthday the other night?
last week was good. It's fun. There was like no snow. Kind of weird.
Oh,
Kind of sad because we went to Tacanic Falls, which Tacanic Falls is really cool, but I really wanted to see it with like a snowpack around it and
Mhm.
ice and all that kind of stuff, and it
Yeah.
wasn't. So still cool though. It can't fly the drone there. I didn't get permission, and I had a thought that I could fly it. I found a place where I could be 1,000 feet away from the falls, off park grounds. I could have taken off outside the park boundaries and flown over to it, but then I would have lost visual line of sight, and that's a no-no. So I was like, nope, can't do it. So anyhow, got to get permission to do that stuff. I don't want to be that guy like somebody else who was flying over people recently in a video upsetting people. That's not me. We won't name any names, but
Yeah.
totally,
just message.
totally.
good night, Joe.
Okay, Joe.
All right,
Take
later, Joe.
care. Thanks
Yeah,
for
just
coming in.
message.
Well, hope you're feeling better and come back and see us.
I'll
So
see
Paul,
y'all
what
tomorrow.
drone did you get? Just the Mini 3 Pro?
Yeah, Ruffle sent him the Mini 3 Pro Fly More. It's like the Costco Fly More, though. It's got 2 batteries. And with the RC controller.
Which batteries did you get? Did you get the 249 gram ones? I mean, the lightweights or the long flight ones?
Honestly, I don't think he ever mentioned that. I don't think we ever asked him that.
I
Not
think
super.
it just came with the standard batteries.
So you
Yeah, because
can.
I don't even
well,
think
you
it's
can-
open, Chuck.
I didn't
think
order
had-
it. He had it. He bought 2 of them, Chuck.
And
and
one
he-
of them
Doesn't
was
matter.
sealed.
Here in the United States, the RC, the DJI RC works great. I mean, it's a great little controller. It doesn't have antennas sticking up or anything. It's easy, pretty good in bright light, still works. And then you can get another battery or two. I have like 5 batteries for my Mini 3 Pro because, well, Lori has one now too. So we share 5 batteries between the 2 drones. Like, we have a mix. We have a mix of the lightweight ones, and then the ones that keep it at 249 gram. And we have a couple that make it heavy.
Paul, do you see
Did that guy
Joe's
ever get-
note in the chat
Yeah,
about the Air 2?
Mark, did that dude ever get in trouble for that? I was kind of curious.
For what?
Remember the guy that dove the Washington Monument with his FPV?
Oh Jesus, no, I don't remember that.
It was like a month or 2 ago. It was a while back. It went viral though, and everybody, was giving the guy shit about it
Oh,
because you're not technically supposed to be flying there.
Probably isn't
I
no
saw
fly
him,
zone.
the pond in front of the Washington Monument.
Oh, how
saw him
epic!
fly-
I
fly the
gotta look
pond.
for that.
I
An
saw him
epic
fly
shot.
the pond on it. And then they brought in a helicopter to get the kids out.
yeah. Captain Joe, the one he's sending me has got the new smart controller. It's not just the plain old gray controller. It's got the screen on it and everything.
Well, that's the RC. There's the
Yep.
Mini 3 Pro came with the RC, the DJI RC,
Yeah.
which shipped with Mavic 3 later on, and
Freaking Donald, I swear.
yeah, actually that might be it.
Where-
But like Paul, that controller works pretty well. I mean, I like my RC Pro better, brighter, has real antenna on it, and the range is better when I need it. But for what you're doing, you'll probably find you have line of sight to the drone always, right? When you're
Yeah,
flying
pretty
shit.
much.
The Mini 3 Pro works with the new smart controller, according to Joe.
I wonder if they're
RC
going
Pro,
to.
it works. The reason I keep my
Yeah,
Mini
that's the
3
new
Pro,
smart controller.
No, RC. RC Pro. The RC Pro that works with the Mavic 3 works with Mini 3 Pro.
Yeah, there's 2
So,
different new RC controllers. The
There's
standard
no smart controller is from the Mavic 2 series.
What-
So don't confuse smart controller with RC Pro
the
and
3 of them,
Yeah.
Paul. You got the original smart controller, then you have the RC, and then you have the RC Pro. That's the RC.
so you have the RC, that's the gray one with no antennas sticking out.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
RC Pro looks just like the smart controller, more or less, but the antenna setup's a little different, and that's for the Mavic 3 series and works with Mini 3 Pro and Air 2S. And then there is the new RC2 that it looks like the RC that you have, but the antenna are surface mounted and they adjust and everything. And then that works with
Yeah.
Air 2 or Air 3 and Mini 4. I think they're both their latest OcuSync. And yeah, it's confusing, but
Yeah,
you don't need any of that shit anyway. So
No.
yeah. Joe said RC Pro and DJI RC.
Yep. But I always carry my RC Pro around because that controller is great. Love that controller. The DJI RC is what Lori uses with her Mini 3 Pro because I just bought the drone, gave her my old remote for my DJI or my Mini 3 Pro, and then she's in business. But I use one
So-
controller and carry it with me with Mavic 3 and Mini 3 Pro, and like I'm good.
What
But-
drone do we see coming next?
Mavic 4 is supposedly on the horizon.
Oh, and you still have the other FPV drones supposed to be coming out too. The
There's
Aquanax
probably
or
another
Equinox
Avata.
or-
Yeah, some successor, right, Justin? The successor.
Well,
to
they
Avata
have
or-
already leaked the name. Wasn't it called like
I thought it was
Equinox
Avanox or
or
something like that.
Avanox? Yeah.
Avanox. Yeah.
Yeah, it has a weird name. Yeah.
But why change
Yeah.
the name if you had something so different when you launched the Avata?
I don't know. You don't really need. I'm not gonna upgrade.
Well, the
All right,
first drone.
I gotta
didn't even-
jump. I gotta jump. The
All
boss.
right.
The boss is coming out. I gotta go.
Okay, Chuck. Hey, thanks for
Bye, Chuck.
stopping by, buddy.
Good to
Thanks
see
for
you,
letting
Chuck.
me in. I'll talk to you guys. We'll talk more about drones later.
All right.
You guys have a
Okay.
good-
Uh,
We'll see you.
Bye for now.
Well,
later.
the first DJI FPV didn't even have a name. It was just DJI FPV, I think.
Yeah,
It didn't even have an official name.
Oh,
That's why
yeah,
everybody
the
called
fir-
it the potato.
oh, the first FPV, right?
Yeah, I don't even think it had an actual official name. It was just called the DJI FPV. And then they came out with the Avata, and now they're coming out with that other one.
It was like yay big, right?
Yeah, it was pretty big. It was a pretty chunky drone.
looked like a pretty large potato.
Yeah.
That
That
was the one
really
that the
did
dude. That's the one that the dude wrecked into the water at the first drone meetup and called himself Maverick right before he wrecked it.
Hmm.
You hear him on the video. Oh, I'm like, what do you say? I'm like Maverick or something. And the next thing you know, bloop, right into the fucking water at 100 miles an hour.
I thought you would say Q the danger zone. Right into the danger zone.
Daryl says the DJI RC Plus fire.
Daryl, I think you're in love with the RC Plus.
He's got a lot of expensive shit he gets from his company. So he gets in, plus sometimes he gets to try out new shit before other people. Like, because the companies will get stuff sent to them to test out and stuff like that.
Well, that can be a good thing.
I didn't even know there was one called RC Plus. So it must be like I'm wondering if that's like a RC commercial version
I
for commercial drones.
I bet it's a version similar to Paul's, but it's higher end with more memory.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. It's probably a commercial version of the RC controller.
Does
that
that
you would
sound
use
right,
with-
Daryl? Is that what the RC Plus is?
Probably.
Or are
'Cause
we
a
not
lot
supposed to-
of these drone shows don't cover the high end shit in the drone community. You don't really hear them talking about matrices and Inspires a lot. You know what I'm saying? They don't talk about the big commercial size drones.
I hear
because a
about
lot
them
of those guys can-
occasionally.
Well, occasionally they'll talk about them, but
Yeah,
the
but
the vast majority of the drone community can't afford to go out and buy those drones. Those are expensive. There's a difference.
$5,000-$6,000. Yep.
No, even more than that. I'm talking about like the difference of buying a $6,000 Mavic 3 Cine versus buying a 2020, spending 25 grand on an Inspire 3 with all the trimmings with it, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of
well,
guys can't afford to go out and pay that.
you got
much.
you got to understand. I used to fly Inspire ones, and I wanted a thermal camera. It was $8,000 just for the thermal camera.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you don't see a lot of the drone shows covering those, because none of those guys went out and bought one, and they have no interest in it because it's way out of their price range.
Yep.
You gotta
Hey,
think
Paul,
dropping
see-
25 grand on a drone. That's a lot of
see
money
the
at one
link.
time.
See the link Daryl put in the chat.
Shit.
Look at the
That's
price on that.
shit. The average income for most, you know, I guess middle class, lower class families is like 32,000 a year to 40 grand a year. That's a lot of money to drop on one drone.
Yep. Well, any drone now, it's not cheap to get in because there's so many other things you want to get with it.
Well, it
But
depends on how high
16
you want to go.
Yeah, but I mean,
1,600
you got to
pricey.
register it. You got to, you might want some prop guards. You might want some extra props or extra batteries, or
Well, like I said again, no, that still depends on what level you're going at. If you're getting a Mini 1 or Mini 2, that ain't nothing for accessories. But if you're going for like a Mavic 3, you know, you're talking what $150 for a battery
But is
versus
is
40
1600
for
a fair price for a Matrice controller?
I have no idea, dude. I've never been into the commercial stuff. Daryl would know that. I have no idea.
Because that's how much he just put the link in for.
Yeah, well,
That
but
wouldn't
that's
surprise me.
that's a specialty controller. You wouldn't go fly a Mini 2 with that.
No. That's why I said it. When you're talking about buying a Matrice or an Inspire with the camera, all the lenses, all the extra shit, you're talking 25 to 30 grand right off the bat. Like that's a lot of money to spend.
And you can do external battery too. Last
how
up to
much
6
did-
hours.
Well, how much did Dre end up paying for the M30T? I say it was like 16 or 18 grand
Yeah,
or something.
16 or 18 grand, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is 707. You have the weekend then.
And that's why I said you don't generally see a lot of these drone shows like, you didn't Mats or Coast to Coast. You don't see a lot of these shows covering those type of drones because nobody is
No.
buying that shit.
Well, the average person on YouTube hasn't got a clue about the cost of more expensive commercial drones, the usage of commercial drones, or the necessity to have a commercial drone. Because
But see-
the smaller drones gives you all the shots that the average person needs.
Well, and the thing is the expensive drones like the M30T, Dre has told people numerous times that's not a drone you use for cinematic shots or movie.
No,
It's basically a commercial drone for mapping
mapping, yep.
and it's not it doesn't even have all the camera adjustments that a Mavic 3 has. But it's it's 5 times the freaking price, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like I said, and that's kind of why Dre wanted to start his show up because he's talking about a lot of the commercial stuff that nobody else is talking about.
Right.
Because a lot of guys don't talk about commercial stuff. The most you hear about commercial stuff is, oh yeah, I went and took some shots of a house for somebody. It's always like real estate crap. But you don't really hear guys discussing about how they went out and mapped this or they went out and did this construction site for doing this or that. You don't hear a lot of that.
True, Mark. Very true. But the Inspire can map too, can't it?
Well, it depends on what programs you load up. You can do a lot of things with a lot of larger drones, but to get all of this stuff, like the thermal imaging and the this and the that, it's just the price keeps going up.
Yeah, thermal
There-
cameras ain't cheap.
There's a good contract to have if you're going to want to do a survey of a solar panel farm, and that takes thermal imaging. You have to identify bad panels.
Yeah. Well, they're debating on putting one down near the South Carolina Georgia border. But there's farms all around, and the farmers are not happy.
No,
They're kind of pissed off.
I mean, what would the main use for an M30T would be then, Daryl? Like, what would your main case use be for if you were using it? Because I was just kind of using that as an example. I don't really know exactly what he uses it for, but like my whole point was just it's not used for doing, going chasing boats or taking shots of a waterfall. It's not used for that kind of stuff.
Besides,
and
it's-
tower inspections and all those kinds of things,
besides, it's a huge drone.
It's not used for everyday crap that everybody else is doing on YouTube is my point. Okay, so he would use it for search and rescue and inspections. Okay.
Yep.
Well, see, and Mark, that's what I was saying. Like, and Dre has said before that, some of the smaller drones are capable of doing certain types of commercial work, but companies will give you a list of drones and they'll say, this is what we want. You can
Yeah,
only
they
use.
specify what they want you to fly.
Right. And you said, and normally it's not a Mini 3 or a Mini 2. It's going to be like a Mavic 2 Pro, Mavic 3 or higher, or like I would say the 3 cheapest drones that, from what I've just heard from Dre, that they would allow you to use would be a Phantom 4 Pro, was it a V2? Mavic 2 Pro or a Mavic 3. Anything below that, they're not gonna want you using that. That'd be like your 3 cheapest drones you could go with. It's not that they're not capable of doing it. It's just the companies, he said, a lot of the companies will give them a list and say, these are the only drones you can use.
Tim.
And that makes sense, Daryl. Exactly. Makes 100%.
Yeah,
Dude, I would buy an M30T just for the sheer size of it if I had that kind of money to blow. Like, I wouldn't even care if it did take that great a video for cinematic shit. I would just like to show up to a drone meetup with a drone that size. Because you'd be the one to stand out.
that's
as
true,
a drone.
Daryl. But
Yep.
Tim, true.
Yep, I'd agree with that, Tim.
Dominic would be tempted.
Yeah, it's hard to say, Mark. I don't know.
I think if Paul was in a warmer spot, I think he would also be tempted to do the same. That's Tim.
Because I'm assuming, Daryl, you mean that they kind of have to be, what is it, the RTK capable or whatever? Because a lot of you guys use that because it's so precise. I'm
Yeah.
assuming that's what you're meaning by that. Because I mean, even Dobo said, a couple years ago when the Mini 2 came out, he did some real estate work with it and said it worked fine for that. It was capable enough to do some real estate work. It's not it wasn't his go-to drone, but he did test it doing some real estate work and it worked fine for what he was doing. But I think Dre was kind of right about that, though, where he said he kind of found his niche because you don't really have any drone shows that are really talking.
Well, and besides
real
that,
extensive commercial work like that.
Dre is in the industry already, as working for the city and construction and all that kind of stuff. He's already got his foot in the stream,
I mean, you have some shows that do talk about it a little bit, like Dobo might talk about commercial work a little bit, but that's not the main focus of the show. He does reviews and he talks about the new products coming out. There's a lot of other stuff he talks about. Where Dre's just mainly wanting to focus just on these are the type of commercial drones, these are the regulations, this is what you have to do a proper whatever, that's what he wants to focus 100% on.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a lot of the guys that are in commercial work, when he did that show the other night, seemed like they kind of enjoyed it. So it's hopefully it'll take off for him and he'll be able to do something with it.
At one point, he had at least 12 people in there to start with.
Yeah, I think we're about ready to call it for the day.
Yeah, I think it'd be a good idea.
We're down to 11 people, and Justin, what do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I think it's time to call it.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. Hey, thanks for being here. We'll see all of you again in the morning. Stay tuned for whomever is coming up tonight. Justin, you're not. Are you going live tonight?
Dominic.
No,
You going up?
because I have physical therapy in the morning, so I can't
Oh,
be up
okay.
late.
All right.
But I might not. I might make it to your show in the morning. I don't know what. I can't.
Okay, we'll
Not
look
sure
for
what
you.
time my appointment is. I think it's either at 8 or 9. So. I
Okay,
think it's an
everybody. Hey,
hour long.
thanks for being here. Justin, you
All
take
right.
care. Good luck with therapy
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right. I'll see y'all
Andrew,
later.
Good luck with that,
Take
Justin.
care. Dominic, thanks for coming in as always.
No
And
worries.
everybody in the chat,
Andrew.
thanks for being here.
And everybody message Donald. Congratulations for his
Yep,
new,
Donald's
grandbaby.
Donald's grandpa. Yep,
Send him a message
Bye-bye.
on Facebook.
baby girl. Yep,
Hey, Justin, what should we call him? Grandpa or?
Donald.
Yeah, just call him Grandpa Don. Grandpa Don.
Yeah.
Grandpa Don.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Night.